Hi, I'm BZ Rieger. It's March 21st, 2020, and I'm doing another in a series of choosing fear or knowing. And this one is the focus is knowing what's really going on is now an imperative. And um, it's a huge subject. What's really going on is a huge subject, and it's been going on for millennia. Many beings are waking up, have been waking up for a long time. Many have not. Many are sound asleep. In fact, right now, with the energies, you're working really hard to be sound asleep. And what do I mean by sound asleep? Um, Not thinking for yourself, not feeling into your heart, not noticing all the incongruities in the linear world around you, in the things that people may say, or especially if you're listening to the mainstream media, what's coming out. And if you listen to people on the ground involved in the coronavirus or who have been in an area, um, things don't match up, things aren't lining up. So what I'm trying to do, what I've been asked to do, is do these series, and actually millions of um, light warriors have been asked to do this all over the globe, and they're doing it all in their own way, focusing on different pieces in particular, and then the broader piece of what's going on. But how do you tell people? How do you wake people up to um, the fact that everything that they thought was so, that they would look around out there, um, every system, every structure, every sector um, does not work, does not do, is not therefore, was never intended to do the things that you that they're purported to do, that you thought that's what they were for, that you've been trained and taught and indoctrinated to how things work. Um, so it's something that I've done in my work for decades to help people. My mission focus is twofold. One is to help people flow into and um, understand the truth of who they are. And we'll get to that because that's a big subject in these little pieces I'm breaking down. And the other piece of that is breaking down the financial slavery system. So to go back to the overall picture and why it's an imperative, because right now, um, and none of what I say is at all meant as fear porn or to um, whip up fear. What it is, absolutely the opposite, is to be calming and to help you to tune into you. You're the expert for you. And you have this knowledge. You are connected to source, so you have this knowledge. You may not have been listening to that, the little thought, the little intuitive hits, the little noticings, the synchronicities, all those kinds of things. It's imperative now because in these moments, we're in the final battle. And there is a battle, make no mistake about it. We're in the final battle. And so it's unavoidable now that the out there, in the world, um, is clearly showing you that something is very different. The coronavirus is real. It is not what it's purported to be, and it's um, it's a good thing of dark to light, where it's helping a tool to help focus what has to come on. The reason that it's imperative now for people to begin to notice and to wake up is because in these final stages of this battle, things will speed up. If you're perceiving things as chaotic, if you're perceiving things as fearful, if you're perceiving things as, oh my gosh, the whole world has gone nuts, or the whole world has changed, or what's happening, or will things ever go back to normal, if that's how you're perceiving it, because you only have a very, 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 very narrow aperture in your consciousness, in your focus of what is so in every system, every structure, and every sector, then yes, that would be a fair kind of baseline for you to go through. But that's not the case. And in these moments, in these last moments here, um, where things will speed up even more, and the amount of transparency coming at you, the amount of um, revelations, the amount of true things being unfolded for you will come very, very, very fast. Again, for those who have not been paying attention, you've been paying attention to the company line, you've been paying attention to the politically correct um, script. You've been paying attention to the mainstream media and, orange man bad, all of that kind of stuff. You've been paying attention to, well, you need to do this and get this shot, and you need to do this and only take these courses. You need to be in fear constantly. The world is unsafe and there are boogeymen everywhere. And that's true, but not the way that you've been told. So, in these moments, stay in your heart. In these moments, look around and connect to people that you may know locally, that you may know through conversations like this, that you may know in a video or a conversation that you may just happen to have come in front of you. Um, there's an army of beautiful beings all over the planet that we've been trained, we've been working on these different facets of this our whole lives for these moments right now, to reach out a hand, to reach out information, to reach out a smile, to help all those who have not, for whatever reason, been out of the bubble that is part of the mind virus of um, the false construct. So, one of the things I would finish this particular short video with, and again, I want to do them in chunks so you can think about them. So when you hear what I'm saying, your brain answers with, "Well, I'm not indoctrinated. I'm not programmed." Okay, that's a way to open that door and then look around. And one of the things that I find is the most helpful is to notice. Simply notice. Look around you. Listen, or when something catches your eye, don't think it to death. Don't analyze it. Don't even observe it where you're now labeling and categorizing, because that's, a well ingrained habit that we're taught to do. Simply notice. What is it informing you, and how are you informing it? Come into connection with whatever that is. Feel into whatever that is. And that will help you decode and make sense of things in a much quicker, in a much more complete way that's in tune with what's really going on the planet. There will be, um, let's see, I want to end with something that is pulling the the coronavirus is a good highlight because it's gotten you to pay attention. It's taken you out of your routine. It's shaken things up when other things that were being asked. Your heart was asking you to wake up. Your heart was asking you to notice things. Your heart was asking you to pay attention to things that seemed out of line. And for whatever reason, um, a lot of people have not been listening. And so now is the time to listen to your heart, to your expert, to the source of all that is and who you are. And I can tell you that if you think of this this series and what's going on as a newspaper, you know, where the headlines above the fold and then below the fold, the coronavirus, as far as headlines, as far as news, as far as unveiling and revealing the truth of what's going on, is below the fold. It's important because it's a catalyst for this moment to take you out of your routine, to have you pause and really tune in to what's going on, to look around. The irony, the delicious irony in the social distancing, um, really is a way, because everything is inverted right now as this all comes down. It's actually a way to allow you to get closer to you, closer to intimate relations that you have with friends, with new friends you've just made, because there's something about their energy, there's something about the information that they're conveying that strikes you as, I'm not sure what they're talking about, I don't quite understand, but I have a knowing that there's something there that might be information that I could use, that I could be looking. So to go back to this metaphor about above and below the fold, what's happening right now is all of the things below the fold. So the things that are happening in the linear world, the things that are pointing to how things are unfolding, how things have always been. You'll see more and more headlines coming out um, about fraud, about pedophilia, about satanic things, about all things unimaginable. They're not conspiracy theories, and that's a CIA term. You can look it up. Um, as a program back in the 40s to indoctrinate people. So if someone is waking up, if someone is noticing and putting the dots together, we simply label them as a conspiracy theorist, and then all the rest of the beings who are really good at just following the company line, CIA, the company line, um, we get them like wolves on prey, to tear them to shreds, to ostracize them, to say, well, they're just tinfoil hat nuts. And you can look at all sorts of things that now are being declassified from the Department of Justice to show you, from JFK all the way down, um, that they are conspiracies, absolutely, and they are proven facts. And all of these things are unfolding. So that's some of the stuff you're going to see below the fold. The top story you will find below the fold is the financial slavery system. And I'll talk more about that. The story above the fold is the truth of who you are. It's that you are a creator being and that you are eternal essence. And the spiritual nature of who you are, just to use linear language, and what's going on, and how all of the other systems around um, religion and that mechanism is all part of what is being revealed and what is unfolding. It is easy to get in your head. It is easy to get wrapped up in what's going on and or thinking what's going on and see different things. Um, and I would ask you to stay in your heart. I would ask you to um, look at the resources that I've given. There's in this series, you can see the IUV website, you can see the IUV Twitter feed, you can see the channel on YouTube. Um, those resources, you can see up to the minute headlines of that decode really what's going on. And there are many, many sites, there are many, many beings all over that you can see this from. And again, the reason that in this moment it's imperative for you to pause and to inform yourself from the inside out, because if you feel that Life has totally changed, and you're wondering when um, things are going to get back to normal. It will never happen. The normal that you're looking for, the normal that you're reaching for, because um, we've passed that point. And the point that I'm talking about is letting the lies stand, letting the corruption stand, letting all of the deceit and the uh, treachery and debauchery stand anymore. This is not a Republican Democrat thing. In fact, those don't even exist. But all of that I'll go into detail later in little bits. The main thing is that now is the time to notice what's going on, connect with others, connect with pieces of information, and most importantly, connect to you. You have all this knowing within inside of you, and it's waiting for your permission, your heart open, heart based permission that you want to know what's going on, to truly see, have eyes to see and ears to hear. So, more to come. I love you.